So it's where you can have your hand in 3 different positions, here, here, or here.
Okay.
Right, so the first one, and this is kind of like, call it lateral lines, like opening up the lateral lines. But I almost feel like you should do it for now, just on that right side to lengthen
Okay.
that up. So
this
you
side's
go-
tight and the side's lengthened. Is that why it goes like
This
that?
side is, well, it's part, I think it's contributing,
Okay.
besides the neck, like, because that's lats. And then it's also, but that's the side body, the lats, the obliques.
Okay.
So you would want to try to even it out, you might, it might be helpful to try to strengthen this. This might be long or weak. So if you strengthen it, tighten it, could help pull the shoulder down.
Okay.
And then this one could be lengthened more, so that they at least could, you see it, that it, just when standing, you could be a little more even.
Okay.
So
hands.
yeah, we should have just got done. Well, I felt that more on this side, right? And we were just doing on the right side. And were you doing it on the right side or the left side?
I had the weight in my right hand.
My right hand. So I actually think, yeah, in your case, let's do it on the left hand, because I feel it here. Do you not feel it there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so make sure you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And just really quick, let's go ahead and do it on that side, and I'll just, yeah, because do you feel it on that side? You
I feel it on the right side.
Exactly, so my bad. All right, so bend the knees a little bit. You're gonna go straight down. Oh wait,
Oh,
this side.
I'll lean towards the weight, right?
Or
Or I lean away from it.
You're gonna switch the arms, right? Because that way you feel it on that side. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Frontal plane. Beware of your shoulders, right? Bend the knees a little bit, maybe. Create length in the spine. And then really rainbow these ribs out. Or arc, does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you do it without jutting the hip out, which is the tough part. Just going straight down, keep the hips still. Okay, so more like that.
Okay.
And remember, you're doing that nice slow pace. We were moving pretty slow, we were moving slowly, but you could actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. All right, so that gets that. And then to lengthen that, you would have just the normal stance again here. You have your hand here, here, or here when you're doing these, and you are going to jut the hip out, so it's the opposite.
Okay.
You're going to go out, and you're going to be in that frontal plane still, right? So you're still within those 2 panes of glass. And you're going to come back down. So you'll go hip out, jut the hip out. Try to reach over as much as you can, really try to, again, arc out the opposite side. But this time we have no weight, so we're not tightening, we're just lengthening. But it's an active release. You might even look up at the hand. Yeah. Now try your hand like this, okay? So just kind of slightly changing the hand position, and you'll get a different, kind of a
I feel it
angle.
different, yeah.
Just wait till the next one. So you're really jutting the hip out far. Opposite, so now it's actually turned this, nope. It's here, here, and wait, here, this one, and this, yeah, just this one, yeah. But it's awkward. It's a little awkward, but again, it gets a little different of an angle, right?
Mm-hmm. So, I've now noticed that my son arches his lower back when he's standing.
That's abdominal.
Yeah, he's like this. His belly's all out. I'm like, oh no.
Well, then he might have low back pain, or he might develop it at a later age.
So I was like, all right, wait, pull this part of your hip in.
Well, you could do some of the abdominal TVA type stuff with him, and just for fun, just see if he'll do it. Now there is another one that you could do, which is here. You actually go here,
so your hand
and I put my hand in the first position.
Okay.
And then I rotate it, so I kept my hip jutted out. I open again, Exhale. Inhale. All the way up. Look, look, look. All the way up. My chest is really rotating up. Yes. And then rotate it straight down as if you're rotating from your sternum. Does that make sense? It's almost like you're just rotating right from here. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
And then to get out of it, you'd be right here again, and then you'd go back.
Yeah.
Want to try one more of those?
Yeah.
And then rotate from the sternum. You feel the abdominals also, and when you kind of crunch them, and when you open, really try to open this right chest and close. Tuck chin and under, also on the close like this. My inhale and the open. It's an incredible opening though.
It is.
All right, and then back to the side and bring back up. So that's lateral arm release. That's not on here, but it wouldn't be bad to do.
Okay. And that's just using my right arm, don't do both.
No. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Let's see. You know, and we'll kind of test this out. You know, kind of see how the next assessment goes, and if it changes, then we can finally, you know, do some things like side playing on both sides. Like we can evenly strengthen both sides at the same time.
Okay.
But I think for corrective muscle length purposes, I think this would be a good idea. Same thing here. I mean, I put side plank, left side. You know, prone glute series, right side. Another thing with side plank that you could do is you could actually get into plank. But remember how we talked about plank, right? About the shoulder blades,
Mm-hmm.
right? So after you've warmed up your wrist probably, you know, you'll go ahead and you'll get into plank and then actually make your feet hip width, a little bit more than hip width distance apart. And then we wanted to tighten the right side only. You know, the left side only, correct? The left side,
Mhm.
yes. So you could actually just do this on the left side only, is you could pull your hip down, as far down as you can, and use the left obliques to pull your body up. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
So you gotta use the left obliques to pull it up, and your abs. And then you come right back into that shoulder scapula pushed out position. Yeah. Over. Exhale. But make sure your breaths are nice and soft. And up. Over. Up. Tailbone under. Yeah. Abs. So you get that one,
Yeah.
right? It's not on here, but it'd be fine to add. Let's see. Sitting on Pilates ball. Do you understand that one? The sitting on Pilates ball, band on, you know, let's say the right foot, pull inward, heel stays down. Did you get that one? Understand? No? Okay. So what that one means is it's more of the green band. So this is that fair band. Now you also don't have to be sitting on a Pilates ball. You could be sitting on, you know, a bench like that. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn this. So you could be sitting here, and then you could put what I think this would be. So you basically have to, you know, you need to put it around. Yeah, you need to put it around something. And there's actually two of them. That might be a bit tight. Well, you know what? You could also be sitting on the floor. It doesn't really matter. But there's one that you can do that's like this. And these TheraBands, so you could also, you know, simply tie the knot in a tighter place to make it the one that you use for tube walking. So you could use one band for a couple different purposes if you did buy a TheraBand.
Okay.
So if you were like this, leg is straight, You're gonna allow the muscle, and my knee is still turned straight. I'm gonna allow the foot to turn out that way, and then I'm gonna pull it back. But I'm gonna do it with that slow tempo again, right? So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5. Back 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's gonna help to strengthen the medial gastroc, which I specifically did not put, on the foam roller section, right? We don't want to lengthen that. That's long. That's why the foot's turned out, right? So we want to tighten this by pulling this in like that. And that only, in your case, both of your feet were pointing a little bit to the right, so it's just the right foot that needs it. Does that make sense? And then what we also did is we actually were lengthening the lateral gastroc. Do you remember how we went to the outside of the lower part of the calf? We went to the soleus, then we went to the lateral gastroc, and that was it. And then we didn't touch the medial gastroc.
Right.
So this is for this. So you might want to try that. And this also will help strengthen the muscles around the knee, right? Can you imagine that too? So,
not my leg, just my foot.
Yeah, exactly, just the foot. And do it slow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just use this muscle. There you go. 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Tempo is going to be important. That's what you're not going to want to do. Go 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 2, 3. But you're packing a denser pattern of muscle into the same space when you're doing holds, like isometric holds. I think that's why the 5x5 is going to be really important. It's going to help the same space that you have right now to be stronger. 3, 4, 5. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5. And do your best to get it to work straight up. Does that make sense? This last one, and then try to get your foot as far turned as you can. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2. So yeah, that's going to be a good one there. And then the other one would be sitting. So it's standing and sitting. So you could literally go like this, And it's just a little different. You're keeping, that's why on this one I kind of just tried to put the heel down, and then you're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. And this strengthens, it's called the popliteus, I believe.
Okay.
And it's, again, a muscle that's along the inner thigh, but it's right inside of the knee.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not like the abductor?
No,
That's not connected?
it's in that group.
Okay.
It's in that group, but it's a muscle all on its own.
That's what I need to strengthen that knee.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some weakness around there. So you want to go like that. Does that make sense? And you're just keeping the knee still. So just trying to focus on the muscle that you're using. Heel stays down. Yeah. Let's see.
I feel like it's going to slip off.
Where's your paper gun? Alright.
Now, we didn't go over tube walking, right?
Nope.
Okay. Because I was looking at it last night and I was like, I don't.
Yeah, we will.
Can't wait, my foam roller's dry. I get to use it today.
Alright. Just remember, hold your knee still with your hands. There you go. Use that one muscle all the way. 4, 5. You're gonna hold. Remember, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pulling. Release. Slow. 4, 5. Good. 2, 3, 5. Hold. 2, 3. 4, 5. Down. 2. Okay, that's fine. So you get the idea there, right? Okay. Now I normally have this blue band, I don't know where it is, that goes right around your knees. So I mean, again, no big deal, right? All you gotta do is tie a knot in this. You wanna go probably over here so that you can see. So you'll tie a knot in this wherever you want, you know. In this case, I'm shortening it to where, I mean, that's all right. I know that my blue band is tighter, you know. But, you know, this kind of thing, the TheraBand's nice because you can just put a knot in there and you can take it right out, you know. So I do like that. Although, like, you know, again, like I said, I actually have a specific band that's already in that shortened position. But it's just, this is something that you could use to be resourceful. It's a little tighter. It's not bad, but I mean, it'll give you the idea. So what you'll do with the tube walking, which you can definitely practice even without a band. So I'm gonna go ahead and just have you wear this, and I'll do it without a band.
Okay.
All right. You gotta start with that good posture, right? So I want to go ahead and come right in front of me here. Oh, let me go ahead and switch this. There you go. There you go. All right. So, yeah. All right, so what you'll do is you'll pull the tailbone under, right? Pull the abdominals into the spine. Squeeze your hip bones together, okay? Especially on that exhale. And then I like to have my hands out like, I mean, I end up, when I have the band on, I end up doing something like, what do? I think I do something like this, or like this, that's fine, yeah. But I really don't want you to be leaning over, I want you to be like right over your body, like right over yourself.
Okay.
And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a step, and you're gonna kind of roll from the inside to the outside of the foot, and then the outside foot is a small step, I'm talking micro step, yeah. So you're gonna go from the inside to the out, you see I'm kind of pulling like that?
So
I'm kind of going like that, little step, and then keep pulling the band away. So again, this back foot, it is the smallest step ever. But you feel like you lose that, you feel how you lose it, so you gotta keep pulling it in.
And this is tube walking?
This is tube walking. Watch that foot though. That foot needs to be straight, all right? So you're grabbing the ground, and then you're pulling it. Grab, and just keep being aware, keep fixing the toes, right? Toes should be facing forward, heel should be facing back. And then see if you can come a little deeper while still remaining upright. Now that also could be ankle mobility. Like if I can't go any further, it's pretty much because of my ankle joint mobility. Does that make sense? Okay. Which is fine. Just do your best. Good fix. I saw. Watch your foot though. Left foot. There you go.
It feels like I'm pulling it in when I stand like that.
When you actually put it straight. It will. Okay, other direction.
And then it's a little this way.
And then again, you don't lean forward, remember? Yeah, pull it under. That's why this helps, because you're kind of, you're pressing yourself back up.
Okay.
So you might have to do this in front of a mirror.
Yeah. I'm
And
trying to
watch
like
those
see
feet.
everything.
Little step. Little step. Little step. Watch that foot.
Okay.
It's almost like you're leading with the heel, Lead with the heel, you're grabbing, you're kind of going into, out, pushing the band out as you go over both directions. Constantly trying to push the band. This is why the tighter band works better in this position. But I mean, if that's what, you kind of got to work with the tools you have.
It's something similar that I had to do when I was with the physical therapist, but they had it around my ankle and I had to.
Yeah, that's good. And they might not have told you exactly how to stand when you're doing it. They're probably just like, no, just move to the left.
Right.
Shuffle to the left. Okay, we did that. Banded anterior tibialis strengthening. So I mean, that's the one where I like to use, I would highly recommend, getting this particular heavy band.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So for this one, What you're going to do for anterior tibialis strengthening is this. Just stick it right there. And then you're going to do the same stuff. You're going to go 1.
Oh, we did this one.
Oh, we did?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. All right, good. But just making sure that you do that 5, 5, 5.
Okay.
Count. Banded wall clam series. I mean, seriously, you could do this without a band, but you know, you can. But obviously a band would be better, so go ahead and you'll take a seat. You'll come down.
Do I put the band on or not?
Uh-huh. You put the band over around your legs, around your knees. All around here. Alright. And then what we're going to do here is I want you to give me a tunnel here. Don't let your body just lean down. If you see here, what I'm doing is I'm creating a tunnel right here. So what that does is it helps to make the hips even, right? Because watch my hip.
Oh.
Right? I want my hip stacked.
Yeah, but it hurts.
Where does it hurt?
On my hip. Like right here. Like I'm pressed.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You might just be used to it, but I mean, you can use a pillow if you need.
I
Is
can
it
put
really?
like the, no, it's just
No,
like.
I don't want something here. You need to have,
I
you need to be able to pull
use
your
it.
body up.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't feel anything on my hip bone. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel anything with your hip bone. I'm just saying that you might just need some kind of additional cushion, which
Well,
is
that's
fine.
okay. I can do it at home.
Yeah. So what you're going to do here is you're going to create that tunnel, right, before you start. Your knees are about 90 degrees. And I want you to kind of try to pull your tailbone under just a little bit, right? So even just sitting like this, you feel this connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I like to put the hand out here, straight out. Yep. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, again, that band might not be strong enough. You're going to slowly use in this case, use the right sit bone to imagine your right sit bone is coming closer to your left sit bone. Can you imagine that? Slightly, sorry. So you're using the right hip to pull the knee open. Use that hip to pull the knee open. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand out. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5. Close 2. Resist 3, 4, 5. Open 2. So you're gonna try not to let the tension go out. Try your arm like this. See if that's more comfy. There, is that better?
Mm-hmm.
4, 5. You're really trying to open it. Pull, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open. See, keeping the arm straight out helps to keep the hips a little bit more closed, because if you're back here, it's going to allow your hips to open more. That's why I like the straight arm.
Okay.
Really, your straight arm reach. Yeah. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what you can do is you can straighten the top leg back. Now this is even better if you have a wall. Can you imagine being able to touch a wall behind you?
Mm-hmm.
So I would really rather you go on a wall at home. We just don't have that here. Because that's how I would do it. I would not do it in space like this. I would do it against the wall. I'd be pressing my heel back against the wall.
Okay.
Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
So pretend like you're pressing your heel back, and then you're going to go up as you're dragging your heel against the wall. All right? So keep applying pressure back, but have you lost this?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, so make sure you're aware. Okay, so you're going to go 1. This is going to absolutely kill. 2, 3,
It's already
4,
killing.
5.
And how many do I do of each of these?
You're going to strive for 12 to 20 with the 5, 5, 5. Down, 2. Watch this. Time up. 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4. We need strength in these areas, you know?
Mm-hmm.
2, 2. Straighten that knee, right? You're going to really push the heel out, pull the toe up, down, 2, 3. And it's good to practice pulling that toe up, and what you're doing is you're strengthening that anterior tibialis, right? So we're doing it actively even though we're not. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Up as high as you can. Pull, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press into the wall. Down, 2, 4, 5. So really pushing the back of the knee back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Tunnel. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then after that one, what we'll do is you do the one where, okay, so we forgot this one, but it's not a big deal. So that's actually the third one that I do. The second one in the variation is this one, and I made a video on this already, so, is you actually take both legs. So we go from doing this one as the first variation in the series to dragging the heel up the wall together with the knee, so the knee and the heel are moving at the same rate. Does that make sense? Dragging it down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't rest it. So try to keep tension throughout. So try not to let yourself just fall into it. Watch the tunnel. Hold. Push the heel back into the wall. Drag the heel down. So in this case, you're literally dragging the heel up and down against the wall. And then the third one is where you do the straightening.
Okay.
Where we just did. Does that make sense? So that's your hip series. You would obviously repeat that you'd repeat that on both sides. Let's see. So that's banded wall clam series.
Yeah, okay.
And that's for both sides. We've done the wrist strengthening, and we didn't do it up to standing. So basically, after you do the ones that I've given you where you're kind of on your hands and knees, after you do that, what you're going to end up doing is coming to these two positions. So let's just do the last two, which one of them is coming into Malasana, which is deep squat. You probably move here, next across from me. Yeah? So, and good, you have your heels down. So if you obviously you widen your base if you ever can't get your heels down. Okay. Right? And then what we're going to do here is you're going to reach out to me, and you're going to close and then open, but open your fingers and pull your fingers back towards your elbow. It's kind of hard, right?
So bend my fingers
down.
Or no?
No, straight fingers. But you relax your shoulders. Yep. And then you're gonna nice wide fingers. Then you're gonna close them like this, and then open. And then you'll go as fast but controlled as you can for preferably 60 seconds, but do it fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders relaxed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, lateral breathing, 14, 15, 16, 17, you feel it? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, keep going, 29, good for your pain too, 31, 32, 33, keep going, 34, 35, good job, 36, big as you can, 38, 39, 40, 41, keep going, 42, 43, 44, 45, relax shoulders, 47, 48, 49, 50, almost got it, 51, 52, 53, open the knees up, 54, 55, 56, 57, 8, 9, 60, okay? Slowly come up like this. There you go, straighten the feet, toes facing forward, heels facing back. Now this one right here, you're gonna do these. These are shoulder pumps. So you're basically bringing your shoulders back. You see what my hands are doing? My arms are nice and straight, but I'm gonna pull them back as far as I can, and you're still gonna keep that abdominal connection here. So in this case, I'm pulling my front hip points up to meet the ribs, so I'm keeping this locked in. So it's 60 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, spread the fingers, 7, 8, 9, 10, you feel it? 11, 12, 13, 14. This is to strengthen the shoulder, shoulder blade area, scapula, all that good stuff. 19, 20, 21, really up, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, we'll do 30 seconds, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Feel it.
So when I say, wrist series up to standing, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Because that gets this, and then this right here, it's getting something that I want still. So I still like it. And obviously it wasn't easy, right?
Even the open hand thing, I guess from milking, like I could feel tightness.
Yeah. Yep. I can see it. All right, Davies test, we didn't go through that. You know what Davies test is?
We did, is that the plank where you?
We did do that. We did that with Jazzy. That's right. All right, so 2 walking, you got that. Medicine ball, Atlas lunges with arms overhead. I mean, you probably, you know, if you don't have a medicine ball, what you could do is you could literally use, you know.
I think we did this too.
We did do that lesson. Yeah, I think so. Where we,
Cause you kick, cause I noticed that I had never seen anybody do a backward step, cause you like.
I said accentuate the, yeah. And then basically, when you drop down, you're almost touching your knee to the ground, but you see that my knee is behind my hip, right?
Right.
So this one's an important one to get you prepped for running, right? Because the goal here is to get you back to running as quickly as possible. But when we're running, we want this leg to be an extension. Will we land like that? Versus if you're landing here or in front of yourself, that's going to cause, that could also be a factor that's causing knee pain. So we're just going to try to rule stuff out before we can get started.
Okay.
You know, so that's why, but you know, when you're coming back, you're still aware of what's happening here. You're still pulling this tailbone under, right? So if you look at yourself in the mirror, this would be a good one to watch too. You know, you're starting with good position too, so when I come up, you see how I like to kind of slightly bend this knee so I can keep my tailbone pulled under. So if I watched myself here, and I kind of came back, if anything, I'd be pulling my arms back next to my ears while I keep this locked in here, and I'm not going to pop the ribs out. I'm going to keep the ribs down. So you might remind yourself, ribs down. Squeeze the hip bones together and come back up. Because you're also watching the front knee. You don't want the knee caving in, right? You want to make sure that you're using that left hip to pull the knee out.
Okay.
So you want to try it? Let's just do just a couple at least. So good position starting, right? You're pulling that tailbone under. I like to bend the knee a little bit. Down a little bit, pull back. Nice stretch, right? Ribs down. Can you imagine how sometimes the ribs could want to pop and then come up? So you're really pushing hard into that standing leg, right? You're pushing hard. As you come back, you're pulling this left hip back into the socket. You're letting this right hip come forward and down. You're keeping this tight, this locked in here. And what pulling the tailbone under also does is it helps to lengthen the spine. Could you imagine versus if you were to be, you know, in that anterior pelvic tilt, how it would shorten where the spine, it would basically be more like this versus lengthened.
Right.
And that would compress the spine, put more pressure on the low back and cause back pain. Don't want to do that.
And I've noticed that before when I've done it.
Okay. Yep. All right, so let's see. Supine bridge series. Did I show you the bridge series? I don't think I did. No. You might want to go ahead and come down here. Again, I have a video on this. So, you know, with your stuff, I think that banded, I mean, you could obviously also put a block, but you could also put that band, the small band around your knees. And again, I don't think that's tight enough, but you can try.
This is called a TheraBand.
It is.
How do I do it? Around my feet and up, or just
Knees. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and put her on a little bit. And what you could do to start, which I didn't put on there, is you could actually do start from single leg, so you could actually lengthen out the left leg. Lengthen out the left leg. Yep. There you go. Right? The right leg. Make sure that you're being aware of your toes and your heels, right? Trying to face them forward and backward, right there, the toes versus the heels. And then what you're going to do here is, good, so you're all ready, is you're going to try to press hard you're going to initiate the movement by pressing hard into the right foot into the ground. Can you imagine that? And then you're slowly going to lift the hips. This is going to be pretty difficult for you. Yep. And then what you're going to do is, as you come down, you're almost going to pull the heel towards you. Pull, 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 pull. But you're also trying to have this come down at the same rate. So you're going to really have to close your ribs down.
Does
Because
it
your
matter
ribs are going to try.
how close my foot is to my?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm just right behind my hips. But the biggest thing here with this movement is what's happening right here.
Okay.
This needs to go down together versus the ribs being popped and, you know, the low back arching. You gotta keep that length in the spine the whole time, okay? So as you're coming up, I'm pulling the tailbone under. I'm really, you know, imagining as if I'm lengthening out through my knees. And then I'm gonna use my right heel, pull it towards me, use the, you initiate the hand. Do you feel it in the hamstring? You're gonna pull. And then you're trying to lengthen the tailbone. You're trying to get into that posterior pelvic tilt, pulling it long even as you're coming down. Okay. And then keeping your ribs down, squeezing the hip bones together, all of that right there. Okay, coming up again. And you're gonna come up slow. You kind of come up really fast right there. You want to control it, right? So you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2. Lengthen the spine, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now pull that heel towards you as you come down. 3. Ribs are down, ribs are down. Good. One more, up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Lateral breathing. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the goal also is that your foot, your heel, and your butt is coming down at the same time. Okay. And very softly. You can switch. So you're really pulling your right leg out of the way. Slowly coming up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone's pulling the leg away from you, the right leg. And now use that left heel, pull back as you come down. Keep the ribs coming down. Keep the heel coming down at the same rate as the butt. 2, 3, 4. Someone's pulling that leg. So you're almost trying to keep this crease. You see this crease? Can you feel that you have a crease right here at the upper thigh where it meets the glute?
I think it's
like if your but like if your leg is straight, you have the crease, versus if your leg is bent, it's gone. Like bend your leg, it's gone, right?
Okay.
So you're trying to keep this crease as you come up and down.
Okay.
And can you imagine how that's going to help your heel to come down at the same rate as your butt? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's do another one. Up. Someone's pulling the leg away from you. Now keep pulling that right leg away. Even as you come down, you're going to use that left heel and pull it towards your body. Down, 2, 3. Keep the crease. 4, 5. Did that help?
Yes.
Nice. All right, now, bridge series could be something like this, or it could also be something like you use the roller. In addition to that, now you don't need to do this right now, but I'll just give you an idea on something else that I'll do. You can go ahead and come down. This is another variation which could add an instability to make it more difficult. So what you'll do is you're going to first, again, just try to make sure you've got a good starting position. Your ribs are down. You're aware of your lateral breathing, right? So you feel as you inhale your ribs kind of coming out versus your belly coming out. And as you exhale, the belly coming in towards the spine. Your hand might be on your belly too, one of your hands on your belly, so you can make sure that when you're inhaling, it's staying down, because what you're doing is you're inhaling out through the ribs. And as you exhale, it's just coming away from your hand. The belly is coming away from your hand. So you'll make sure you have that down before you start, you know. And then from here, for the bridge series, what you would do is you'd go ahead and pull up. Now obviously you can practice simply coming up and down. Now when you come down, you're going to want to use your heels and pull the heels back towards you, right? Do you imagine, when I say that, can you imagine doing it with the way it feels? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And then coming back up. And when you're coming up, you're imagining that you're creating length through the thighs here, like from your hips to your knees. You're really trying to pull your knees out away from you. And coming down. So again, focusing on that 5, 5, 5, right? As you're coming down, you're really pulling that tailbone under as well, so you feel that length in the spine. Coming up, 2, nope, not too fast, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, pulling with the heels, back towards your body, 3, ribs are closed, 4, 5, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now go ahead and come up again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, can you put more pressure into the left foot, right? More pressure into the left foot. So much so to where your right leg can lift up without you moving your heels too much. Now I don't want it straight up like this. I want it even with the knee without your hips moving. So squeeze, so pull that left glute up. Someone's pulling the right leg away from you. And then you can bring it back and gently touch the floor.
Oh my gosh, it burns.
I know.
And that's just one.
That's one. It's not even one, that's 0.5. We didn't do the left side or the other side yet. So as you bring the foot down slowly, you're going to start putting pressure on the right leg, right? Put more pressure to the right foot, and then so much so to where the left one just lifts without your hips shifting, right? Pulling, using that right glute, right? Your hips are staying even with your knees, and that straight, nice long line, right? From your shoulders, your hips, and your knees, it's a nice straight line. Back down, so slowly that you barely touch the ground, right? And then you go ahead and initiate with that left glute, right? So go ahead and press hard, and then slowly. And then keep the knees in line. Here you go. So yeah, this will be one to work on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's actually another one that I would have you do in the series, is you would have the leg up, and then this is nice with the band, and now you slowly rotate to the outside. So
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know what I'm doing? You know what's important? Look at my foot positioning. My heel is straight down, and my toes are straight up. So do you see how my leg is almost rotating? Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just going like that, right? I'm leading with my heel. So my toes remain straight up to the ceiling. So you lead with the heel. Practice leading with the heel. You feel the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to go very far. With the band, you might go right here. But I want you to do it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze this. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. And someone's pulling the leg away from you. And then after you finish your 10, you would pull yourself back down like this, perhaps, keeping that crease. Like that would be fine too, right?
Okay.
Unless you wanted to finish like that. So that's going to be a tough one for you.
It is.
But they're, so. And obviously a band would make that even better. So the part about moving the leg to the outside, leading with the heel, that's very important.
Okay.
And then always pretending someone's pulling the leg away from you, so really creating length. And then in that case, you're trying to keep that crease too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step up to balance, curl to overhead press. I mean, this one's kind of complex, but again, you'd have to have the tools to do it. So that would be a case where, if you did have weights, it might even be something, like this, and you might find a step like this, you gotta be creative sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, would I prefer the step to be like here? I mean, that's obviously gonna be harder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can play around with whatever you have. So like if you had it here, what I put for you to do is, DB is dumbbell. Dumbbell, step up to balance, curl to overhead press. Step up to balance, curl to overhead press. So in this case, what I'm going to do to even start, let me just make sure that I feel good about, that's fine. So before I even start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my hips forward. You see what I'm doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pulling my hips forward, pulling my right hip back into the socket, and letting this left one kind of come forward so my hips are even. And then I might even start with my foot closer to whatever I'm stepping up to. That way I can use this leg here to pull myself up versus using maybe momentum to get yourself up. Like really try to make this leg do the job.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to come here, step up to balance, right? Maybe like this, curl to press. And then come back down. And then when I come down, I like to really pull this right hip back and bend as much as I can
Without touching that foot on the ground.
And then touch softly like that.
Okay.
So again, you're gonna come forward. Maybe make sure you're close to the bench, like I said. Come forward, that way this leg can actually do it. Step up to balance. I'm creating the crease on this right side. Do you see how I'm really working to straighten this right knee?
Mm-hmm.
So work to straighten it as if it's behind a wall and you're trying to touch the back of the knee to the wall. And then curl to press. And I'm still pulling my tailbone under here, pressing the hips forward. The hips coming forward is very important right here versus kind of not missing that step. So this is a complex one, but soft.
Okay.
And I'll hold this still for you.
Okay.
I'm just trying one of them. Yep, good. Back foot's nice and forward. There you go. Okay, so you're pulling your hips forward, remember? You're pulling your hips, both of them, yes. This is creating the crease up there, yep. This is nice and straight. Straighten that knee as best you can. Straighten, 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 pull tall, yes. And then you're gonna do that curl to press and then come down. Yep, there you go. And then pull that right hip back. And then use it to pull the knee out. So you see how it's gonna be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to, on the down, you want to try to just go so slowly to where this knee is getting more stable.
Okay.
It did want to cave in, but we're not going to let it.
Okay.
Right? So just go more slowly than ever. So try to do it even slower this time, because the slower you go, the more denser the muscles. It'll support your knee better.
Okay.
Use this. Press hard into that. Slowly. Take your time.
Where do I put my hands? I'm trying to do that.
Just there's fine, or you could do them here. If anything, there's, yeah, and then you can drop them when you come down, so you can do the press. So you can do the curl. But before you do the curl, what are you gonna do with your hips? Step up to balance, hips pull forward. Yes. Crease in the right leg. And then when you press up, you're actually pressing up that way, just so you know. So up here,
straight.
and then as you press up, what are your hips doing? You're still pulling your hips forward.
Okay.
Squeeze the glutes, right? Keeping that crease, straightening that right knee as best you can. Super straight, super tall. And then as you come down, you come back, hips are hinging back. Send both hip bones back. I know it. So the down is super hard for you.
Yeah.
So you've got to practice. And you might even practice with a lesser range of motion, right?
Okay.
Because if this is hard, then why not try something like this and see if you can control the down better.
Okay.
So let me just see. So yeah, you would come again. You would kind of have a short stance here. Use this leg only. Try not to go like that, right? This leg is just floating up. To balance, straighten that leg. You're gonna come here, curl, pulling the hips forward to press. Pull the hips forward again. Create that crease in the left side. Straighten the left knee some more. Make that knee long, or make the leg long on the left side. So you're feeling that connection from the heel up to the sit bone, and from the inner part of the foot all the way up to the inner thigh to this area here. And then when you're coming back, their hands are probably here, or right here. Okay, back, resisting, pulling back some more, pulling the knee out some more here, touch. I mean, I felt that so deep right here, it was ridiculous. You should feel it very deep as you're coming down here.
Okay.
No push off on the back foot, there you go. Step up to balance, hips, straighten the knee, tall. Feeling the connection from the heel up to the sit bone, from the inner part of the foot, right there. Curl, hips forward, press, hips forward again. Okay, down. And this is the good one. Keep them here if you want, keep them here. There you go. Easy. That was a little better. Kind of lean forward a little bit. Kind of lean forward on that. So pull the hips back more. Like I felt like you kind of more crunched forward versus pulling the hips back.
Okay.
So try to really pull the hips back super far, which causes you to use these muscles. Step up to balance. Hips forward. Straighten that leg more. Good. Curl. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. Better. So, and you might even look in the mirror too. Mirror is always fantastic for feedback. I mean, I highly recommend just getting to a place where you can just somehow watch yourself. Even if it's one of those ones that are like, you know, have you ever seen those ones at the store where they just kind of go up on like a
door?
Just anything like that. Pilates ball, dumbbell, alternating arms, bench press, or chest press. I mean, in this case, if you don't have a Pilates ball, you could easily do something like this. I mean, I would like it if you did have a Pilates ball. Are you going to get one or no? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Oh, okay, good. So this one is not that pumped up, but you'll get the idea. Let's see. So what I'll probably do here is,
Do you want these?
let me see if I did. No, those are way too easy. I mean, the appropriate weight for you is at least 15 to 20 pounds per press up. So, I mean, I could use something like this.
Okay.
That would be more appropriate. You would not use those. Those are not going to be enough. You want to be within that nice range. So at the lowest end, it's literally 15 pounds. This would be a good proper one. Pilates ball, alternating arms. So alternating arms, what that means is you're kind of just switching it up from one to the other. I'm kind of looking for, I haven't been able to find my other kettlebell.
Is it in the Minnie Mouse bag?
Thank you, God dang it, thank you. That's exactly where it is.
Because we talked about it the other day.
You're so good. Yesterday I couldn't, I swear, I was like, I don't understand, like, where would it be? That was awesome, good job. Oh my gosh, this ball is so flat. It's not, again, you get the idea. Now, could you also do it on a bench? You could, you know. Alright, so, and there's definitely different ways that you could do this. You could actually even, the hardest way to do it is to actually grip these by the handle. But that's extremely hard, because then you have to focus on, oh my god, it's so hard. Now, if I had lesser weight on the kettlebell, it might be different, but you're basically going to have to squeeze your glutes.
Okay.
Right? And the easiest way to do this is obviously both arms, right? So coming down, coming up. The second method is what I put on there for you, which is alternating arms. So you're going to go down, you know, like this. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't put this, but you could totally do all three of these variations, where the first one, again, is both arms. You could do your 12 to 20 with both arms. Immediately after, alternating arms. And this will really burn it out.
Okay.
Immediately after that, single arm.
So no break in between.
I mean, I don't. If you need, I mean, you can put 90 seconds if you want to, but I would just roll through that as the whole set.
Okay.
As one set. 12 to 20 each, and then again, you would just go to the other one. But see, I'm slightly moving. You want to try to minimize your movement.
Yeah, but your ball's also really flat.
True. You know, so I just put alternating arms, but you could totally do all three variations.
Okay.
You might want to go ahead and try. Does at least give you some feedback. And this is not going to be easy right here. This is going to be hard.
Oh my god.
I know.
You're not playing.
Now be careful. Yep. You got it? So remember that what you're doing is you're trying to lengthen out through your thighs, right? Your knees. So you're pulling your knees out. Yep. There you go. This is staying flat. Make sure you close the ribs down. Bring your ribs down towards your hips.
Like that?
Exactly. You feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Your ribs are up and now they're totally flat. That was excellent.
Feels like they're more engaged now.
Good. And remember, when you're doing this, you're pulling your hands together. You're kind of engaging the muscle you're trying to use. Yes. Now, what's happening? Right? Keep yourself still. What's happening with your shoulders? Your shoulder blades are apart, right? Mm-hmm. Bring them down. Shoulder blades are together. So think about the shoulders too. Now, separate the shoulders. Squeeze the chest. Now do alternating. Come up. Nope, come up. First both. And then do alternating. So you start, that's how you start. And up. Oh, feel the movement though, right?
Yeah.
Even when you get it. Yep, there you go.
I feel it in my wrist too.
And that's gonna be where the wrist strengthening will help, right? Down. Now you would try single arm, if you want, optional. Keep the one arm up and just work the one arm at a time. Squeeze, up, squeeze. Squeeze through on the other side. Breathe, squeeze. Squeeze the hip bones together. There you go. Squeeze, squeeze the glutes. Yes, and down, butt down. There you go, yes. Perfect. So that's gonna be a good one for you, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one. Bent over YTA and scarecrow. I really like these. Could you do these with no weight? Yeah, you could. Or you could do up to 5 pounds. You wouldn't. I mean, I doubt that you would want to play with more than 5 pounds because you're going to see this one's not pleasant. So, and you could again obviously add different types of instability with this. Now, I wouldn't recommend you buying this. I'm just going to give you an example.
Okay.
So you're going to do it. But I mean, you could use all kinds of things. This would actually be probably the most challenging thing that you would do. So you're going to get into that bent position. So go ahead and get into that bent position. And then what you're going to do is just kind of drop your arms. And you might have hand weights, right? Like I could have the 5s. I could have 5 to the 2.5s, I suppose. But I'd probably use the 5s. We're going to do YTA. You're going to go Y. Give me a Y. So your thumbs are up. Thumbs are up. Because what happens when your hands are like this? What happens to the shoulders? They close. What happens when your hands are like this? Them open. Remember how your thumbs, when you're standing, thumbs were more here? So think about this for more often for some things, for the movement. That way your chest starts to open up versus the pecs closing because the thumb isn't open. Yes. All right, so here, now I'm pulling the abs into the spine. I'm pulling the tailbone under. So I'm sitting my butt back as if I'm trying to touch a wall behind me. Y, thumbs up, down, T, down, A, straight back, down, Y, down, T, A, down, yeah. Now as you bring your arms up, do you feel like your back starts to arch a little bit, or it tries to? You have to fix it, so make sure you do that. Fix it. A. Down. Y. I'm going to keep doing it so we get that Y. Down. See? A. Down. There you go. T. Scarecrow, like arms hang down, stay. Hang down. This one's tough. Pull that tailbone under, pull the rib abs into the spine. You're gonna bring, this one can be tricky for some people. Yep, good. So elbows up, rotate, and you could have the weights, right? And then reach. Lengthen the spine, pull the tailbone under, bring those elbows back, elbows straight back. Now pull the hands and elbows back as far as you can, right? Rotate the hands down and dive back in. Again, that's one, right? So again, you're adding again, you could just be doing it on both legs. I'm gonna eventually progress you to one leg. You see what I'm saying?
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, so I'm just saying that's the idea. You're trying to add different modalities of proprioception, and then we would eventually get to phase 2. So, let's go ahead and let's do both legs, right? And go ahead and, why don't you grab those 2.5s on the outside? And just hold them in your hand like this. Now again, if you wanted to do 12 and 20, you might just do no weight. Especially if you wanted to do 20, right? So you're gonna bend over, and then we're gonna do Y. Thumbs up, down, slow, T, slow, A. Again, Y, T, A. Feet look good too. Okay, the other variation, scarecrow. Just give me an idea, scarecrow. Elbows. Rotate. Oh, it's gonna be tough. And reach. Elbows. Pull the hands and elbows back. Hands, rotate down, and dive. Again, different with the weight, right? Rotate, reach, exhale. Pull the hips back. You feel that length there? Elbows, rotate, and down. Yeah?
Yeah, it's my legs that are burning more than my arms. I got one in.
I know. So that's that.
They're weak.
Whew. But you know what else that's doing? Is that's pulling all this together to help pull your shoulders back.
Yeah.
So you're lengthening this, right? That's why we have the pecs including the foam roller and the static stretching. So we'll keep lengthening this, and then we're just gonna pull that back.
Okay.
Deadlift, both lengthen, single legs. What time you got?
5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, deadlift. Good. We're gonna do this. All right. So it's tough. I'm not even gonna have you, like I would have you probably mess with a couple weights versus, I can show you what it would be like if you used a bar, but I don't know if you're gonna, I thought you'd buy a bar.
I have a bar, and we can go get it afterwards. It's a 35 pound, it's not 40.
Well, like this is even 40 pounds, so depends on what weight you have, but I'll come over here. Come over here. And what you're gonna do for deadlift is you're gonna basically imagine that, and sometimes I'll do this against a wall. So for example, I might do something like this. That way I know I'm bringing my hips back, right? So I might go like this until I touch it, see? And I might bring my feet forward a little bit. Reach, 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 reach. That's deadlift, so you're reach. But if you practice behind in front of something like this, it forces you to come back, to come down better. So why don't you come over here and put your feet exactly where mine are. Right, ready? Okay, from here, wait, come on. All right, so now from here, now you're gonna start with good position, bend your knees slightly, pull the tailbone under, right? Shoulders back, and then you're gonna go ahead and pull the hip back more. Touch, did you touch it? Keep pushing back.
I can't touch.
Well, don't straighten your leg. Wait, watch, be mindful of what you're doing here. Now pull
Yeah,
your
but
shoulders back.
It's not touching.
Okay, well pull your shoulders back before you lift. Does that make sense? Like make sure before, that way you're not lifting like that.
Right.
Reach, 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 back, back, back. You don't need to bring the weights that far down either. You should bring them probably right around here, and you should just keep pushing the hips back. Push, 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 push. How tall are you again? 5'6". That's what I thought, 5'5". Okay. But your legs could be, okay, so back your feet up just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay, try again. So nice position. Push, 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 push. Touch it. Again, I don't want you to lose your connection though with the tension. I don't want you to drop the weights and lose the tension. You gotta keep the tension. So don't get too far down. And you're definitely, before you start, you're pulling the shoulders back, pulling the tailbone under. Don't lose the shoulders as you come down either. Good? Does that feel better? Good, again. There you go. And as you come up, you're still bending your knees slightly and squeezing the glutes here. So more of this activation here. Down. Push, push, push. So now keep your legs up a little bit now. Now you know where it's at, right? Okay, try again. Did you touch it?
I did.
Haha.
Oh, I touched the ground. I didn't touch the refrigerator.
Touch the refrigerator. Don't touch the ground with the deadlift. I don't think you have to. Unless you're okay, unless you want
I
to.
have monkey arms.
Unless you want to. No, it's okay. Yeah. I just don't want you to lose the tension. There you go. Did you touch it in the butt? Try again. Try to reach back in. You were so close. You hardly moved. Got it?
Nope.
Okay, move your feet back just a little bit. Okay, again. Did you get it?
No, like if I lean into my heels.
I want you to make sure I don't want you to sit back in it, but you get the idea?
I feel more awkward and I'm trying to get there.
Yeah. So now you also have single leg. right? So single leg would be same. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna give you the example with this first, and then I'll show you this just in case. So single leg, and I'll do it this way for you. You're gonna go like this. Again, I'm pulling my tailbone under, so this just causes this leg to do what it's doing right now. It's fine. I'm straightening this left leg as much as I can. So I'm really pulling my leg long. And then as I start, I have to stabilize the knee. Do you see what happened with the knee?
Mm-hmm.
Slightly. And then pull back up. But at least you've practiced bringing the hip back at this point, right? And forward. And if I had the bar, with the bar, especially if I'm having a lot of heavy weight, what I'll do is I'll change my fingers like this. My finger positioning, my hands.
Okay.
I'll go like this. So again, imagine I have good metal.
Oh, that's just a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, what in the world? It's funny. But that's the idea. If you were using a bar, you would have your hands like this.
Okay.
Just because if it's heavy, it's going to be heavy.
Right.
And it's difficult to have your hands, this makes it easier. This makes me able to lift more weight.
Okay.
So you would do the same stuff. And if it's single leg, same deal. I would pull it up like this. I'd have the bar set like this. I'd put this foot around the middle area, right? And then I would basically get set, pull my shoulders back here. And then like that. And then as I come down, like that. But do you see how I pull my hips forward? Not too forward, but remember how when we were doing the balance? And I said, pull your hips. Exactly, that's all it's doing. I don't want you hyperextending in some way. I just want you to, when you pull the hips forward, if anything, our hips are more back, so we're just trying to pull them over the ankles.
Okay.
So your kinetic chain is more in line. I think that's it. Yeah, you're not going to have leg press. If you had gone to the gym, I was going to say leg press right side only, so that we can get that right glute, the one that's injured, to start waking up. Because
Is there
remember,
any way to do it with the band?
no, it's not going to be heavy enough. I'm talking like heavyweight.
Okay.
So you're just going to have to skip that. And because on the left side, part of what we're doing is we are wanting to release that side more. And you aren't getting the piriformis, it's just you're getting the piriformis on both sides. So we'll see how this one goes. If anything, if we still see that one of them is working more than the other, then I'll probably have you just, hit the foam roller with the side that's overworking. Does that make sense? But for now, we're still working on another, the purpose of rolling both, the piriformis on both sides is something else that we're working on. So I think that's important to do both first. Otherwise, I seriously would have put piriformis on the side that's contracting more, to basically tell it to slow down and let that one catch up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
There was one thing in the SMR area, and it was this muscle in your neck.
yeah,
You just stretch it. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to use a roller on that.
yeah, you are. Remember how we did the roller where we got up in the bridge and we were on the side?
Oh, that's right.
We did that.
Okay.
Yeah, we hit that. We sure did. I did put kneeling lateral wall medicine ball throw, but if you're not, you'd have to buy a medicine ball.
Okay.
Because, just using a ball, you could use a
Right.
basketball. Basketball might be heavier. That might be heavier, but, that's where you're basically going to be like this. And you're going to throw and catch over this leg. So I would be throwing that way. And I'd have a nice wide base. But the key also is catching it gently, right? So, for example, if you were to be, sitting over here somewhere, if you want to go sit over there, kneel like this, but kneel with your, whatever leg is, the left leg out, yep. So you could do this with your husband potentially, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
But when you catch, I need you to really, really barely let me hear it.
Okay. Or just catch it.
And then, but you see how that's just like super light? Like you basically want like a 10, 20 pound medicine ball. sorry. And you want to throw it here for the person. And then you see how that was a nice one. Sorry, I gotta be. There you go. Now if you had a wall, you can go
Right.
talking like you want a wall. And you want to throw it and then rebound catch it as gently as you could. So, but now, so that would be a nice one because the twisting motion is going to help to just churn anything out of that area too.
Okay.
So the twist I like. So I think this will be pretty solid for you. You feel pretty comfortable now?
Mhm.
Oh, we didn't do box squat, but but we can work on these things.
A box squat.
But we, single leg squat, both legs squat, the ones that I was, when you're kind of sitting down at a bench.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I mean, but these ones can be difficult, so you want to be holding your weights. And I like to hold them right here, right here. And then what you would do, start with good position, right? So here, nice long spine, pressing down into the floor, and then I'm going to send my hips back like I'm trying to touch that fridge. Soft. And then I'm going to come all the way back and then stand up. So I'm not going to come up before I come all the way back.
Okay.
So I'm sending my hips back, very quiet.
And that's called a box squat?
And then single leg, which is going to be tough. But we need to do it, even if it's no weight. So here, quiet, and then up. I'll go ahead and try at least 2 of each. Right here.
Am I holding it down?
No. I mean, it's up to you. No, I like this. Yeah, that's comfy. And again, you probably won't have kettlebells now.
No.
Okay, so we'll hold it in tight. So even if you have dumbbells, you're holding it in tight here. All right? Make sure you sit in the middle of it though. There you go. Watch your feet, watch your toes, your heels, right? Start with good position. And then send the hips back. Quiet. Yes. And then step up. Good. And then come up. That's perfect. One more. Quiet. Tough when you kind of make it quiet, right? Come on. Single leg. Pick one. Pick one and have no weight. Yeah. Wait. Start with good position. Feel what you're doing? Feel when you go like this, you feel how you're immediately going back. Pushing my hip back. So when you come up, moving it slowly. Create that crease. Okay. I like the hands out too. It's easier to balance. It's really hard for you.
I can't really do it.
No, that's what we need.
Okay.
We gotta practice what we're not good at, right? This one's very important. This one I would not skip. Okay, back. Pull the hips back. Evenly. Yes, we need it badly.
I can't.
Keep practicing. One day it's gonna so you might actually have to kind of let your toe come down.
Okay.
There you go. And then quiet landing. That's fine. And sit and then both feet up. There you go. So again, eventually you'll be able to let it do by itself. But for now, because what I want is this knee. You can't let that knee cave in.
Okay.
So even if you have to help yourself with that leg, I'm fine. Just, we're not going to practice going up and down with the knee caving in. That's not going to help anything, right?
Okay.
Try it one more time on that side. Okay? Create the crease. Create length. And then come back. Use the hip to pull the knee out. Use the hip. Pull it out. Good.
I didn't even notice.
Other side. Okay? Create the crease. Use the hip to pull the knee out. Use the sit bone. And you gotta be quiet on the landing and come back up. So for sure, no weight on this one. We need to make sure we get the range of motion, right? more, we feel more comfortable. Good. Well, it's good to find these things though, right? It's
Yeah.
good to find things that we're not that good at. For example, I want to be able to go all the way down, right? We know that I want to be able to have more range of motion here, right? I want to be able to go all the way down without falling. Yeah, I'm falling softly, but I still don't have it, so I'm going to keep practicing it. Because I'm not good at it. So
Okay.
if I don't, I'm not going to get any closer to it. So we just want to get closer and closer.
All right.
All right.
Let me help you pick this up.